80 monkeypox cases have been detected in at least 12 countries. The World Health Organization warns more are likely to be reported. The virus is most common in West Africa and normally does not spread easily between people. Its symptoms are similar to smallpox. So let's discuss this now and also ask if South Africans should be worried about landing in the middle of another pandemic. Medical expert Professor Ramnika Luwala joins me now for that conversation. Prof, thank you so much for your time this Monday morning. And I suppose this is not the news that one wants to wake up to, right? We're dealing with, a pandemic, COVID-19, and here's, other news coming in of monkeypox. Before we get into the numbers and the data, what is monkeypox?
In fact, monkeypox is, as you rightfully said, comes from a family of smallpox, which is extremely dangerous, and it took us centuries and decades to eradicate smallpox. And monkeypox is very prevalent the disease still is prevalent in monkeys. That's why its name comes from. Spreads via rats, rodents. It's a very zoonotic disease. What it means is it spreads from an animal to human, and that's the transmission, which means humans which have close proximity to animals like rats, rodents, and sometimes infected monkeys, which can be through various means of close proximity. It's mostly contamination of their fluid, their blood, uncooked food. And these are very known facts for us from monkeypox. And monkeypox has been with us over 5 decades. So it's not something new to human mankind. Unlike COVID-19, when it came to 2020 to South Africa or to the global world, it was an unfamiliar virus, which means we never knew anything about it. We had no immune systems about it. But for this disease, we quite know about it. It has been prevalent, but very endemic, single-digit outbreaks happens and goes away. What's unusual is spreading beyond continents, 80 people. For the first time, we've seen such high numbers. And with this incubation period of 21 days and about 12 countries now reporting, what's giving us a worry and indication is, has this virus mutated, which is a viral evolution. And we always talk about that in COVID. It applies to every virus. Yep. We want to see, has this virus mutated, to what extent, and is it forming something what we are always scared of, a human-to-human transmission?
Right, because we're reading, Prof, that, the cases rather of monkeypox continue to spread across the world. What are the symptoms and how can one detect or know if they have monkeypox?
So very similar to any viral infection. It starts with the fever, with your body aches, with your headaches, the fatigue that comes with it. But most importantly is the rash. And it forms, if you know chicken pox or measles, it forms vesicles all over your body. Monkeypox has never been too fatal comparatively. Its fatality is specifically the current strain that people are checking is the Western African strain, which means it's always been endemic in West Africa. And if that's the strain, then the fatality has been always 1%, which means out of 100 people, only 1 dies, which is still a human life to be lost, very concerning anytime. But it's still less than COVID-19, which is a good sign. But the question is, with the data now coming in, with scientists now studying the virus, the new variant, things will only come with time to us. And so it's no alert at this moment, but just to watch out, be vigilant. We have a smallpox vaccine, which will work, which should work. So this means mankind should know about how to crack the monkeypox, because it's been prevalent with us. So something for us to watch, even if it's an outbreak, from my understanding, it's an outbreak, it should be contained in a very quick space of time.
Right. Oftentimes when we talk about viruses, Prof, we can't speak about them in isolation of vaccines. Is there a vaccine for monkeypox?
Yes, definitely. We as scientists have got smallpox vaccines that were used by mankind. This is the only way we eradicated smallpox, which is very deadly as a disease. And monkeypox is a derivative of smallpox, and we're quite sure that those vaccines should work. And if not, it can be modified to work, which means we know this disease, the science can crack this disease quickly. But at this stage, I would not even worry about, because there's only a double-digit number of people, which is still sad, and it is spreading. As much as now the scientific data will tell us whether the human-to-human transmission is happening, which is possible through sexually transmitted infections or close proximity of human to human might result into it, but it's not as fast spreading as COVID-19. It's not airborne the way we have seen COVID-19 spread. So it's believed to be an outbreak, and if an outbreak is usually a contained outbreak, it gets contained even though it's spread into many countries, then there's no panic. Should it become an epidemic or a pandemic, which means it becomes very similar to how we've seen COVID, it has changed its transmission, it becomes very quick in transmission from one human to one human, then we think smallpox vaccine should work.
All right, then we'll leave it then. I appreciate you giving us some clarity on this. That was, of course, medical expert Professor Ramnika Luwalia. Thank you so much for your time this morning.